in their week again, where you get 2 hours of live, high quality wrestling, really higher production values than have ever been available. But the state of the art, it's been a long time since the state of the art production values, top wrestlers, the top promotion. And I was here a year ago, and it was a great show, but like, you know, you can have a great game, but it's another thing to have a great league. Like the NFL, again, like the Super Bowl, we're part of the greatest brand, the greatest game in the world, but without all the league and the season and the playoffs behind it, you know, makes it that much more important. So that's what my thinking on it, on where we're at.
Tony, the wins and losses, when we talk about that, is there going to be something that ends like a season finale with these guys with the best record, or is this going to be something that's cumulative?
I think we're going to look at like record year to year, like kind of throughout a calendar year, but I also think like you're going to keep an overall record, and it's always going to live the same as it would in any other sport. Like your record is, but you know, certainly people go on runs. You know, Manny Pacquiao lost some fights early in his career, and then went on a run, and then he lost some fights, and then he has gone on another run. So you never know.
So will there be like a championship opportunity for the guy with the best record at the end of the year? Would it be a playoffs? Have you thought about that?
We have some exciting announcements. I think the big focus going into TV right now, obviously with Crown, I'm really excited that Chris Jericho, you know, is now, we've established that between Chris and Hangman, who's going to be the champion of Chris, and now going into TV, I think the big focus for us is going to be you know, on TV1, we've got a huge women's title match now. Nyla Rose, I thought, like, Nyla Rose is already a big star. I think Nyla Rose already proven Nyla Rose is a big star, but like, put a lot of thought into that. And Nyla Rose, if you didn't consider Nyla Rose a star before, I think you should now. And Nyla Rose versus Rio and Shida was awesome. And I've talked a lot to you guys, like individually and collectively, about the fact that I believe in Joshi, and I think that with the platform we have now, we can introduce a lot of fans, both here in America and worldwide, to some of the great Japanese women's wrestlers. And it's a style that like people really love and want to embrace, similar to almost 25 years ago, 24 years ago, when Nitro launched and Lucha Libre became more prevalent on American television. And I think similarly, the Joshi wrestlers have been great. And you know, Shida and Rio, I give them a ton of credit. Yuka Sakazaki's come in and done some great things also. So we have some really exciting things but Nyla Rose and Rio, I think, for the title is a huge focus for us on the first show, in addition to the matches we've announced, Cody versus Sammy and the Sixer, with, you know, Chris and the Mystery Partners against the Young Bucks and Kenny. And so TV2, we start the playoffs for the tag team. So when you talk about playoffs, yeah, the tag team playoffs start week 2, and they're going to go out, and we've announced the semifinals will be in Pittsburgh, and the finals will be in Charleston, West Virginia, week 4, week 5. So across week 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to see some great tag matches, starting with Young Bucks against Private Party. And, you know, Young Bucks had a tough night tonight, but I thought it was a great showing. And Private Party, I thought, you know, again, another great night for them. So
with TV comes advertising. Have you had good luck finding the advertisers?
Yeah, I mean, they've got a chant for Cracker Barrel tonight. And that was pretty good. You can get a chant for the advertiser, and we actually had a great. I'll put some photos on social media later. But we had a great party a couple days ago for a lot of the sponsors, potential sponsors, and our partners at Warner Media, and a lot of the advertising partners that are out there. And yeah, we're gonna really pound the pavement. We do the same thing in football, both here and in England. And I really believe in it, giving the sponsor everything for their dollar. I thought Cracker Barrel was a great relationship because we got a lot of it too. You know, both they took great care of us. You know, we were compensated, but we were financially, but they also compensated us with the best catering you'll ever get for a pay-per-view. Again, Cracker Barrel's food was great. So
you were talking about the women's division. You actually brought some very good, talented women here tonight. Mercedes Martinez, Priscilla Kelly, Shazam McKenzie, Nicole Savoy, just to name a few.
Yeah.
Any of them you'd like to sign full-time with AEW?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of people on the roster right now, and right now one of the challenges we're all going to face, and again, it's something I'm going to have to come to grips with, is we're coming in with content. Is look, I don't want to oversaturate the market with content, but the fact is, on a 2-hour show, we're already on tonight, you know, on a pay-per-view, a 4-hour pay-per-view with a 1-hour pre-show. You still don't see, there's still some very important people on the roster who still are not wrestling on the show necessarily every week, and so with a 2-hour TV show, you're not going to see everybody every week necessarily. So I do want to make sure everyone's getting time right now, you know, and there are people I really care. You know, this was the first time Penelope Ford's wrestled, for example, and I wanted to get Penelope Ford in sooner, but we have a lot of people we're trying to get to, and she did a great job. But even though she wasn't in the match as long as, you know, she would have liked to be, but she did well when she was in there and did some great stuff. So everyone you named is great. I really like every single woman you named there, and I think that all of them could potentially be in line to come back here.
Tony, you mentioned about.
Go get AJ real quick, because I always like to get AJ early because you guys can stay late. I don't want to keep him up all night. I'll stay for you guys all night.
You were talking about only Wednesday and Tuesday. What about Saturday? Is the reason why you're not doing on
We do our
Saturday?
pay-per-views on Saturday, so we do shows on Saturday. So you've been to a few of them now. So this is one of our pay-per-view nights. So I can't do the TV the night of the pay-per-view because then it would be, what do you do the night of the seed? So I like to, and also it's a really good to have a weeknight. I believe in a weeknight primetime show. People come home like I used to do. People come home from school, come home from work at night, and it's like an important part of your week. It really does become, and my whole life it's been. But Saturday we're gonna do shows on Saturday too. So hopefully I'll see you on a lot more Saturdays over the years.
So like maybe we don't do the TVs on the week of the shows. Maybe we just.
You could do it. I mean, people have, here's the thing. So when people have traditionally had, so there have been, people who've done pay-per-views on Sunday, and then had Sunday shows, and, that particular show, it's usually not their A show. It's usually their B show, and usually they either turn it into a countdown show, which you could turn your show into a countdown show, but we have to start it really early. It's just, I can explain it to you later, but there's probably a lot of reasons why, Wednesday was a really good night for us to land, so it was something I always would have liked to have had, so it's good. And doing the pay-per-views on Saturday is what I wanted to do too, so it's all working out good.
We've seen referees in AEW have more tendencies and individual characteristics than other companies. Is that a concentrated effort or just kind of?
No, I mean they have personalities, and I let them do the. I mean we talk about stuff, and people, and I think everyone gets to showcase with it, their personalities, and we have a lot of belief in all people here, not just the wrestlers, and everyone backstage, and then the referees too, and they do a great job. So I thought our referees did an awesome job. I was really proud of the way they did, and I think why wouldn't you want everybody on your show to have a great personality?
I'm sure you see that a lot in your other lines of work too. Referees that can influence the outcome of a game.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's and there's a little more entertainment here to the other football in England, both in the NFL. So a referee can maybe have a little more flair and personality here than you'd want in another sport. But yeah, I think it's great, and I'm really glad our referees did such a good job. And I thought it was a really fun show, and I was really glad Aubrey's delivered not just refereed a great match, but also a great moment. Her presentation of the championship, I thought, added a lot of prestige to what was already a very prestigious moment.
You've famously been a big fan, obviously, of wrestling all your life. Did you get a chance today to take a step back as a fan and mark out, so to speak?
No, I can't really do that. I mean, I'm at work, and same as been growing up going to football my whole life too in Illinois. I've been going to the University of Illinois games as long as I can remember, both football and basketball, and I love them. And now I work in football every weekend in front of huge stadium crowds, and I can't really. Every once in a while you soak it up, and I really soaked it up. I did really appreciate once we were off the air, being in the ring. It was really nice, and seeing my mom. Cause it's only the second show my mom's ever been to. The first show she'd ever been to was Fight for the Fallen. I've been, a wrestling fan for well over 29 years, close to 30 years, and I've never gotten to her show. Now I've gotten her to 2, and she loved it, so it's great.
Tony, you've shown.
Sorry, you were just. I'm coming right back.
All right, Tony, you've shown a commitment to diversity in your tag team and women's divisions. With the end of this match and Jericho being crowned champion, when are we going to see more wrestlers of color in the men's title division?
I think you are going to see some wrestlers of color in the men's title division. It is something that is absolutely really important to me, and we have some wrestlers that are absolutely going to contend. I don't want to tip my hand on that necessarily who's going to be in contention, but I think you will see. I promise you by the end of the year that you will see that I am committed to diversity and doing some exciting things to establish some new stars, both in the singles and tag division, and getting some diversity into those roles. And you'll see, and I'm going to do it in a way that you won't remember that we had this conversation because it'll be really good. And I'm not forcing it because I'm not doing it because I'm trying to be more diverse. I'm doing it because there are people on this roster that do deserve the push, and we've identified them, and now's the time to push those people. But I don't want to tell you who and when and where, because why would you want that?
Fair enough.
Great.
Following up on that too, there's 2 women's matches out of the whole card tonight. Is there a dedicated plan that you're trying to stick to or would hope to stick to of